welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the polishes that I wore in September. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to see what I wore on my nails for the start of fall. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss out on future uploads. So September was like a whirlwind of the month. Like I am filming this on October 1st and I feel like I just started wearing these fall polishes, but I began my fall rack on September 1st. It's just gone by really quickly and we're still enjoying summer weather here where I live. So hopefully the fall weather gets here soon. I love summer, but you know, I'm ready for fall. Kind of like August, I did not get around to as many polishes as I usually do. Most months, like over the summer and, you know, in the past, I usually get around to like 25 polishes per month. Of course, that includes toppers. Of course, sometimes it includes Skittles as well and pedicures. So it's not like I'm wearing a different polish for 25 days. It's spread out a little bit more than that. But usually I get to a lot of polishes. This month, not quite as many. I got around to 18 polishes. Again, that includes a combo or two and then also a few pedicures. It was just a busy month. What can I say? The baby slept even less than she did in August. So it's a good thing I loved what I wore because I kept it on for a long time. So if you haven't seen one of my what I wore videos before, basically I share with you all the polishes that I wore in September. First, sharing with you the polishes that I wore as pedicures. Then we take a look at my manicures, the polishes that I liked okay, the polishes that I really didn't like, and then the polishes that I absolutely loved at the end. I'll show you up close bottle shots and swatch photos of everything, except for the pedicures. No swatch photos of the pedicures. So let's start with those first. And before we take a look at them, I obviously was in a certain mood with my pedi shades this month because they look very similar. The first pedicure that I wore comes from Color Club and it's called Ghosted. This one is a like nudie pink shade. It has a lot of brown in it and it's a cream. These kind of shades are just kind of standard issue for me in the fall time. I'll wear them when I don't know what else to wear. It's nothing super exciting. I didn't love it. It had a good formula. It was pretty, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking. So will I wear this as a pedicure again? Probably. Am I excited to? Not necessarily. It sounds so bad, but it was a nice shade, just not exciting. Like I'll probably forget I wore it in a month. I also wore Cirque Colors Toadstool. This one looks like a reddish orange in the bottle, and I was thinking it was going to be like a really orange leaning red when I went to put it on my nails. It's a cream too. So to my surprise, this one read a lot more red on me than I was expecting. I thought it would be an orange leaning red. I thought it would look kind of orangey. It didn't. It looked like a cherry red. I think my bottle has ugly bottle syndrome and it's starting to look a little bit more like terracotta-y, but in reality this one is much more red than I remembered and it wasn't quite like the fall pedicure I was wanting. It was pretty and it had a pretty good formula, but honestly I was a little bit disappointed in this shade just because it's a Cirque Colors. And once I had it on my nails, I realized there's nothing super exciting about this color and I probably paid like $13 or $14 for this bottle and I could wear it on my nails and not know it wasn't an OPI. You know, I feel like there's lots. I have this in my collection several times over and this one wasn't extremely special. It has the skinny brush, so application wasn't even like effortless. I was just kind of like, man, why did I get this? It was a pretty polish, but just, you know. But luckily there was a pedicure that I loved in September. It's the one I'm actually still wearing and it comes from KB Shimmer. I'm gonna call it Such a Vladdy. I'll put the real name kind of in the caption. But this one is like a pink leaning red. It's almost like a burgundy shade, but on the nails, it's really giving me lighter version of Essie Bordeaux vibes. Like it kind of feels vampy, kind of a wine color, and I think it dries down quite a bit darker on the nails than it appears in the bottle. I don't know if this shade is still available from KB Shimmer, but I hope it is because I really enjoy it. I've worn it as a manicure a few times. I think I've worn it as a pedicure a few times, and it's one that wasn't on my fall rack. I just remembered I had it and wanted to wear it. It has been a couple years and so I put it on and I loved it. It's beautiful, just great formula. It has that KB Shimmer paddle brush. pretty much opaque in 1 coat, but very beautiful in 2. And yeah, this is a great pedicure. It's starting to chip. Otherwise, I would keep it on for another couple weeks. All right, next we're gonna take a look at manicures, and we're starting off with the ones that I liked okay. The first one comes from Sweet and Sour Lacquer, and it's called What Are You Doing in My Swamp? This one is a beautiful shifty shimmer. I think it might have a clear base. If it doesn't, it's very lightly tinted, and it shifts gold to green to blue. So when the swatchers swatched this one, I remember them saying it looks mostly gold on the nails, even though in the bottle it looks mostly green. And I said, you know what? I like gold. That's okay. And so I grabbed it. When I put it on my nails, it was not okay. It was still beautiful. So it's in this middle category, but I really wanted to see that beautiful green most of the time and just a little bit of the gold and a little bit of the blue. But instead I saw the gold pretty much all the time with glimpses of the green and just a tiny little bit of the blue. So I think next time, because this one was super duper sheer and I did layer it in 3 coats and still it was mostly gold, I think next time I'm gonna wear it under or over a green base of some kind, and that's really gonna help that green shimmer pop, and it's gonna give it more of a green feeling because the shimmer in here is beautiful. It's so shifty and it's loaded in this base, but I just kind of wish the base was tinted green more so I got more of a green feel. Gorgeous polish, but you know, didn't love it. Another one I really enjoyed but didn't quite love this month comes from China Glaze, and it's called Sample Sizing Me Up. This one is a dusty blue cream shade. So first of all, the formula for this, my goodness, it was amazing. It was fully opaque in 2 coats. I've got the skinny brush in here, but it could not have been easier to work with. I mean, it applied itself, and this is not a newer China Glaze. So I was shocked that the formula was so good. It had gorgeous opacity in 2 coats and was such a flattering color. I got some compliments while wearing this one too. I think the only reason it's really in this middle category is I think I wanted to wear it for a few days. I ended up just wearing it for 1 actually because I got some pretty bad shipping. I've heard people say that about China Glaze and that's not really been my experience, but it was with this polish. I wore it for about 24 hours and had some serious chipping and like my nails were peeling. So I took it off quickly and I didn't love that I had to do that. So middle category. Another one that was kind of all right, it was pretty, I did like it but didn't love it, was from Indie Angel, and it's called Leave Me Alone. This one is a beautiful berry pink base with lots and lots of teeny tiny linear holographic particles. The base color of this was fabulous. The application process was pretty easy too. It has like a jelly formula, crelly, but leans more on the jelly side, but it builds up to opacity in 3 coats. The brush for this kind of stinks. If I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of like a chunky squared off brush and it's just not the easiest to work with. I always have to clean up when I use the Indie Angel polishes, and I'm spoiled now with the beautiful paddle brushes. I don't want to have to clean up. But anyway, it was a pretty shade, kind of like the other like, you know, berry colors that I wore. It was just nothing to write home about. Like I wore it on my nails and every time I got in the sun I was like, ooh, this is nice. But most of the time when I wore this I wasn't in the sun, and so I was just kind of like, it's okay. But in the sun it was outstanding. Like I couldn't stop staring at my nails. That's how I feel about linear holographic polishes or just very faint scattered holographic polishes. I'm just never super drawn to them because they're only wow in the sun, and I stay inside a lot. Continuing on with the polishes that I liked okay, we have Ethereal Lacquer Hades. This one is a dusty blue base with gorgeous shifting shimmer that's just red to copper to gold to green. This had a beautiful formula. The shifts were fantastic. The base color was really pretty. However, it looked a little bit more gray on my nails because I think it's super sheer and my nails are a little bit stained. On my swatch wheel, when I did like my little fall rack swatch wheel, it looked so beautiful, but that's because the nail wheel is white. My nails aren't. So when I put this on, it looked more gray, less blue, didn't love that, and it was really sheer. I knew it was gonna be sheer, but it was really sheer. Like, I saw a lot of nail line, and my nails are very short right now. So because of that, I did not love this polish. I even like am borderline like thinking maybe I'll de-stash it, but I don't know, maybe not. We'll have to see. I also wanted to add, I put it on Instagram, but a lot of these swatch photos have dings on them. Like I mentioned, I did not get very much sleep in September. The baby wasn't sleeping. It was like every time I put her down, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go do my nails. She's asleep now, and then sure enough, middle of the manicure, she would wake up, and then I'd have lots of dings and stuff on my polish. So, sorry, the swatch photos are kind of, it's real life. Maybe that's part of why I didn't like this one or the Sweet and Sour quite so much either, is they just didn't look that great in the end. And then one more in this middle category, we have OPI's Violet Visionary. This one is a really pretty, I don't know how to describe it. It's a purple cream, but it's kind of, I guess, on the pink side of purples, and it's a little bit dusty. And then I wore as a topper over it, Night Owl Lacquer's Love Bridge. This one is a gorgeous kind of pinky purple eggplanty, maybe that's the word I'm looking for, I don't know, base with all of these rainbow flakes. They are amazing. So I wore the OPI by itself for a day, and then I topped it with the Night Owl Lacquer. Gorgeous combo. Now I'm thinking maybe I should have put it in the love category, because I'm just getting like, oh, happy feelings, you know, when talking about this manicure. I don't know. It's definitely my favorite out of this middle category, but I don't think it quite compares to my favorites. Anyway, I wore Violet Visionary for a day, loved it, thought it was really pretty despite not really liking purple polish all that much. And I had planned to put on the Night Owl Lacquer that night, but the baby woke up. She had other plans. And so I actually put on the Night Owl Lacquer the following night, and the combo was gorgeous. I'll say the Night Owl Lacquer base is just slightly more pink than the OPI, and I kind of liked the base color of the Night Owl more than I did the OPI, but it was gorgeous together regardless. Those flakes in the Night Owl are just so shifty and so rainbowy. I really enjoyed this manicure. All right, and for the first time in months, there were no polishes that I wore in September that I didn't like. Woo! It's always a good feeling when you have a month full of polishes that you at least enjoy, but mostly really, really like. So on to polishes that I loved this month. We'll start with this Cirque Colors called Succulent Garden. This one is a very dusty, muted, sagey green base with shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green and tiny holographic particles. I love this finish from Cirque Colors. I have a lot of this finish and every single one is a favorite. They're all beautiful. This was no different. I was questioning whether I would like the base color on me. To my surprise, I loved it. I just thought it was like effortless and flattering. I thought this shade of green almost gave like a nude kind of feel. It felt like a neutral on my nails, and I got some compliments while wearing it. I was just surprised how much I liked it. I really did enjoy it. The shifts were gorgeous. The base color was just very elegant and understated, and the hollow sparkle is perfect. I wore this one, I think, for 4 days. Gorgeous. From Polished for Days, I also wore Amanita. This one is a more bright purple base. It's kind of close to the OPI Violet Visionary base color. It's got shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green and lots of scattered hollow. So this was on my fall rack, but as soon as I saw all my fall colors together, I said, that's a little bit summery. So we're gonna put that on in September. I'm glad I did because it's beautiful. Wow, I loved this shade. I need more Polish for Days. I have a good amount of Polish for Days, but I need more. I'm so shopping their fall release. I have to have some of those Halloween shades. But anyway, this one had a gorgeous base color. It was so vibrant, so fun. The shifts in the shimmer were incredible. The hollow was just striking and so sparkly in the sunlight. I got a ton of compliments while wearing this one too. Y'all, my September manicures were amazing. They were so good. This one did not disappoint. I wore another Polished for Days in September. I usually try not to do that, but I just couldn't resist this month. This one was Polished for Days Memo to Me. This one has like a greeny blue base actually. It's kind of hard to tell because this polish is so packed with flakes, but it has ultra glowy flakes that look mostly blue, but sometimes green and maybe sometimes even purple, and little black flecks too. So this was another one that I saw in my fall rack and I said, yeah, that's a little bit summery. We're gonna go ahead and wear it. The black flakes I felt like made it fall, but it was still kind of bright for fall. Anyway, this one was so beautiful. Again, lots of compliments while wearing it. The flakes were just, look at me. I love that. The formula was great too. It didn't take too long to dry even though it's so packed with flakes. And yeah, these black Fleck polishes from Polished for Days, I can't get enough of. I love every single one I have. Another one I loved, this one is a mainstream. It comes from Zoya and it's called Amy. Amy is a bright pumpkin-y orange base that with shimmer that I think shifts maybe copper to gold. It might just be gold though. So this one is one that has sat on my rack. I want to say I put it on my rack last season and didn't get around to it. I wish I would have because I loved it. It was fabulous, just the perfect pumpkin-y orange. Super shimmery and bright, just uplifting and happy, one of those feel-good kind of shades. There was an orange in the KB Shimmer Fall collection called Patch Things Up, and I wore that one for days and loved it and got a ton of compliments. I wanted to put it on again, but I had this one on my fall rack and I was like, that one's kind of similar. Let's put it on, see if we like it. And I did. It's like the mainstream version of that KB Shimmer. It's beautiful, so glowy. Loved this one. From Atomic Polish, I have I'm Afraid I Just Blew Myself. This one is a bright blue base, and it might be a multi-chrome. I don't know if it's a multi-chrome or if it just has multi-chrome shimmer, but there's a shift to purple, gold, and then there is a lot of linear holographic. So this one was a gift from a subscriber. Thank you so much. You know who you are. I love this polish. I was not prepared for how much I loved it. In the bottle, it looks like a dark blue. It looks like a navy. And so when I saw it in the bottle, if I'm being honest, I was like, oh, I don't know. Y'all know how I feel about my dark blues. I'm not always a fan. But once I put it on the swatch wheel, I was like, okay, this is actually a lot brighter than I thought. And once it was on my nails, I was like, wow, okay, it's more of a cobalt. It was really bright. The holographic was blinding. It was super pigmented, almost fully opaque in one coat, but definitely in two coats. And the shifts were just beautiful, especially that shift to purple. I absolutely loved it. It was another one that I got a lot of compliments on. The kids, my students at school, were just loving my nails. I was like, all right, refocus. They were getting distracted. That's how you know when the polish is good. For more, I was really drawn to specific brands this month, and one of them was Beasy Locker. So this one is Beasy Locker, I Want to Peel You Like a Potato. That name is just ridiculous. This one has a really teal leaning blue base with a lot of shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green. I love that shift, and tons of hollow flakes. When this collection released, the What We Do in the Shadows collection 3, all of the polishes in that collection were this Align with Thorn in Its Paw finish, and I could have picked up all of them and been so happy. But I showed restraint. I think I got 5 or 6, and I'm really glad I got this one. The base color is just so unique. It's so blue, yet kind of teal. The shifts really pop against that blue base color, and the hollow is amazing. I mean, it always is in this finish. I just hope we get more of this finish from Beasy Locker because I'm not done. If you watched my fall rack video, and if you haven't, I'll put it up in the cards, but my rack is full of these colors. So this finish from Beasy, so be prepared to see a lot more of these in the next couple months. I love them so much. And I love them so much that I wore another one in this finish from Beasy Locker. The next one is Beasy Locker Sunrise Sunset. This one has a brown base. It might be black, but it looks brown on the nails, and it's got red to copper to gold to green shimmer and holographic flakes. So this is the one that I'm wearing on my nails now. I wanted to finish up the month of September and start the month of October with a brown. I just have a lot of that on my fall rack too, and I want to get around to most of them. So I went to the pumpkin patch yesterday. We took my baby to the pumpkin patch for the first time. It was so cute. But I was looking for the perfect polish for the pumpkin patch. I said, what color, what polish on my rack has some orange in it, has those fall colors? but isn't orange, because, you know, I wanted to take some pictures with the pumpkins in the background and I didn't think it would look good, the orange on orange. So I ended up going with this Beasy Lacquer. I was not disappointed. The way that the hollow flakes just sparkle in this brown base should be illegal. Like, I was just staring at my nails all day. It was so sparkly, so shifty, and very vampy all at the same time. I was in love with this polish, and now I'm bound and determined to wear every single polish in this finish on my rack this fall. I will do it. All right, 2 more, and they are actually both Bluebird lacquers. The first one is a real Know-It Owl. This one is an olive green base with shattered holographic. My favorite finish from Bluebird, one of my favorite finishes of all time. And it might have some shimmer in there, like I get a little bit of gold, I don't know. So this has a fabulous formula. It is fully opaque in 2 coats, no problem, almost a 1 coater, and just the most amazing green color. I wore this on September 1st. I actually wore it to unbox the advent calendar from Bluebird Lacquer for Halloween, their Bluebird advent calendar. And I kind of regretted wearing it because I was like, wow, this would be beautiful in like October, November. I love olives. I don't have many on my rack for fall, so I kind of want to rewear it. I probably won't, but I want to. And the last one I wore in September was also from Bluebird Lacquer. It's called Got Any Sparrow Change. This one is a vibrant, bright blue with a kind of like purple lean to it. And it's got that same shattered hollow finish and a purple shift in there. So again, if you haven't watched my fall rack video, my fall rack is loaded with these shattered hollows from Bluebird. They're just fantastic. Fantastic. I was craving a gorgeous bright blue, and this just ticked all the boxes. It was bright, but it had just a little bit of depth to it. It wasn't quite a navy. It was still in my comfort zone, but it was dark. It was definitely like a fall blue. It didn't feel summery. The shattered hollow really sparkled in this base too. It felt like a night sky, and that shift that you saw every now and then to purple, it was just glowy. And I mean, y'all, I'm running out of words. I love this finish. The polish was gorgeous, 2 coats and perfect, just perfect. I loved it. I would wear pretty much all of these polishes that I loved so much. I would wear them again later in the season if I didn't have so many others to get to. So those are all the polishes that I wore in September. Let me know down in the comments what I wore that you loved, what you didn't like that I wore. Leave all your thoughts down there. I love to see them. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!